What's up, everybody? It's me, Shock here, and I just wanted to come talk about Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy. No, we're talking about Dragon Quest here. Okay, so this year, Dragon Quest turns 40 years old. So it's its 40th anniversary this year. Actually, we're coming up on the 40th year anniversary pretty soon. And I had wanted to talk about my love for Dragon Quest and how I got into the series. I got into the series with Dragon Quest 11 on the PS4. I was actually looking for a pretty nostalgic playthrough, something familiar, something that I can actually sink my teeth into. I was never really close or grew up with Dragon Quest, but sometime in my early 20s, yes, I know, I'm old. But sometime in my early 20s, I actually picked up Dragon Quest 11 on the PS4 and I had a blast with it. Now, if you know me, then you know that I actually like to draw. I used to draw a lot in my younger days, and I still do try to draw a lot now, expanding my art style, trying to improve it. And I feel like I'm making good progress. But if you really know me, then you know that I like Pokemon. I love Pokemon. It's one of my favorite gaming series ever, and the series that I grew up with. But if you really know, then I also grew up with Dragon Ball. Akira Toriyama's artwork has always been in my face since I was a little kid. And that's what really drove me to actually playing Dragon Quest because I felt so nostalgic just for Akira Toriyama's artwork and just for the tried and true anime adventure. And Dragon Quest is exactly that, a very traditional adventure. And in my younger days, I never played Dragon Quest because I was never into the medieval things, just because Dragon Quest fell into that category for me. And I seen the art style with Dragon Quest 8 and I knew it was Akira Toriyama. But at the end of the day, my little kid brain was ignorant and I thought that it was just knockoff Dragon Ball. I'd only come to find out how wrong I was about that sentiment whenever I got older and my taste in video games had actually expanded. So I actually went ahead, bought Dragon Quest 11, and I've never looked back since that day. I was always a handheld gamer growing up, and even though I had consoles like the PlayStation 1, the PS2, the GameCube, the Wii, all things of that matter, which of course Dragon Quest was on, and it was especially on the DS. I let those games pass me by as a kid, and looking back at it, I wish I didn't. I'm really looking for Dragon Quest 5 to play to actually be very accessible. And the thing is about Dragon Quest nowadays is that it's not. I'm actually pretty glad that the Dragon Quest HD 2D remake got remade so that way I can experience those games in a much more fresh, modern take of that era that's actually still pretty much the same. And I've gone through other means to play Dragon Quest 8, such as the Nintendo 3DS. If you know anything about Dragon Quest 8, you know that situation. So I can definitely say that I'm very much a Dragon Quest fan at this point. And even though I've been a fan for years at this point, I still feel like a brand new fan. And I'm just glad that Dragon Quest has become more more popular in the West, I'd like to say. That it's starting to actually pick up its footing. Seems like Square is actually doing a lot to bring it back here in the West. And that actually means something good for a lot of Dragon Quest fans, especially here in the West. My goal for this year with Dragon Quest is basically playing through all of the games that I can actually get my hands on that's accessible to me right now. I may even try out the Dragon Quest 10 MMO just because you can actually play it. From what I heard, it's pretty easy. you could translate the whole thing because there is that language barrier that keeps us from actually playing the game. But group of modders and hackers had went ahead and made Dragon Quest X playable in English for most of the way through, and I've heard and seen from videos that it's actually pretty good playthrough and something that wouldn't be so bad to go ahead and hop on and play. Now, my thing is about Dragon Quest now, even though I still have Dragon Quest 11, I beat Dragon Quest 11, I haven't played 5. I may get into Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined, but I heard there's some things cut from it, and I can honestly just get the 3DS version. Let me know what you think about that because I'm thinking about getting the newer one, but 3DS version is costumes. I heard that they excluded that from the reimagined version, which makes me pretty disappointed. And I also have Dragon Quest HD 2D, like the third one, and I don't have 1 and 2 yet, but I'll get to playing those. The real true reason why I have not actually played through them is just because of time. Throughout these years since I've played Dragon Quest 11, I haven't had a lot of time to actually really sit down and sink my teeth into another Dragon Quest game. And like I'd really actually like to make that one of my goals for this upcoming year into the 40th anniversary and just the years to come. Just go ahead, play the remakes, get a good feel of how those games felt, and actually be on par with just a lot of the fan base that actually has experienced these games. And I actually can't wait to really do that. I also got Dragon Quest Monsters for the 3DS. I have the English translated version, mind you. I have Dragon Quest Monsters for the Switch. And I can't wait to actually get on with those two because being a huge fan of Pokemon, I actually want other different monster taming games that's not Pokemon, especially with just the way how Pokemon does things nowadays. Everybody knows the situation with that. So I think I'd really enjoy and really get into the series. From what I played of the demo, it's a really good combat system that I feel that I'd actually have a lot of fun playing. Now, I won't get into Dragon Quest and all of its lore and gameplay and all of the games today. I'll probably get to it at a later point, different point in time. Hopefully, I'm not as busy around those times. But you can also look at other YouTube videos explaining Dragon Quest, or even just taking a look at the games. I know there's pretty good series of videos out there explaining Dragon Quest 5 and all of its story and all of its elements. In case you don't have the means to either buy the game right now, or if you just want to get it on phone, that's fine. But let's be real. Nobody likes the game on the phone, and everybody's trying to lower their screen time nowadays as it is. But I will go ahead and cover some Dragon Quest games on this channel at a later date, maybe all of them. Hopefully, I can get my hands on them at some point. But before that, I will go ahead and be hacking through the backlog that I have of video games that I'm already playing through as it is right now. But with all of that being said, I'd like to say thanks for the views. Thanks for the comments. If you happen to come across my channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and give me some criticism on things I could do better, things that I should post, things that you'd like to see, or I'll just post things that I like to see or just play, and you can watch that. That's fine. But go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for